Good morning, the sun is shining, it's absolutely roasting yet again here in Orlando, Florida, and today we're here at SeaWorld. Now, I really enjoy the roller coasters at this park. Of course, you've got 3 rides from B&M here, Manta, the flying coaster. Of course, it'll be our first time trying Kraken Unleashed, the VR on Kraken, which will be quite interesting, which is a flawless coaster. And of course, Mako, my favourite roller coaster in Orlando. I absolutely love it. Opened a couple of years back now, and it's a B&M hyper coaster. But yeah, in terms of Kraken Unleashed, that's quite an interesting one to open with VR, and then they took the VR off, and I believe that the VR is back on there now, so we'll have to give it a go. As you all probably know, I'm not a massive fan of VR anyway, but I still look forward to seeing it, and maybe this might be one of the better VR experiences out there. But yeah, it's actually quite busy. It's a Monday today, and yeah, the crowds, I don't think I've ever seen SeaWorld quite this busy. I normally come midweek and walk on all the rides, so I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll be better starting a bit further back and working forwards. Normally here it's like, oh yeah, just go on whatever really, but we might actually have to have a bit of a plan at SeaWorld today so we can get all the rides in, and of course get some re-rides as well.
It's crazy busy this morning. Me and Brett are here today. This is Brett, third party.
There we are. How you doing? You alright?
Third party sponsor today. He's the one who knows everything about this park, so anything we get wrong, I'm sure we'll be corrected. But
and John and Amber are coming along as well. Yeah, party today.
I know, yeah, but all I'm going to say is it is very, very busy today. So I'm intrigued to see how much we can get done in the hours that we're here.
And Alex has never done the roller coasters here either.
Done the journey to Atlantis, which technically is a coaster.
It is a roller coaster. 45 minutes for Manta. Oh my god, crazy. I've only ever seen that sign on 5, I think. Right, I think we'll probably start a bit further back and then work forwards. So obviously Manta's really close to the entrance. Yeah, and start further back. Obviously, with it being a SeaWorld park, they do allow on-ride filming with a chest mount or a wrist strap. So yeah, we'll get plenty of on-ride footage here at SeaWorld today. Looking forward to it. Some really good coasters, and yeah, it's just so hot. We'll see you when we get a little bit further up to the park. Here we go then, about to climb the lift hill on Mako, and of course I always say it when I ride this, but I love all the audio of the lift hill, really builds the atmosphere, and it's Alex's first time.
I'm excited.
Hey,
can't wait.
He's having a back left.
No issues getting on this hyper.
Really good views down there of Kraken. You can just make out the star flare over in the background there, and Icon Orlando.
Which icon can you see?
And if you ever want to see Spaceship Earth, you can turn around and look the other way. And here we go, Mako.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Love this element on the coaster. Ah. Hey, airtime! Oh, it's just so floaty over them airtime hills. Have a trim, please. Oh, you feel that trim? Jeez. Oh. It's a good one. It's a ejector. Hey, oh, that's a good one. Such a smooth, enjoyable ride. And now a close encounter with the water, round to the left. And into the brake run, Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. Oh, good to get back on that. Shame it's running on a 1-train service, unfortunately. Last time I was here, it was this quiet down at this end, and it was still running 2. So I can understand why it does struggle to build up a queue sometimes. Maybe if it does get busier later, they will put it on a 2nd train. But yeah, what a ride, great to get back on that. My favourite coaster in Orlando. Straight back round then, we only waited about 10 minutes actually for a front row on Mako.
Oh, Sean, of all the times for him to say he actually likes infusion at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Now is not the time. All the coasters. Wow.
The audio up the lift hill really makes a difference, in my opinion. Yeah, I go with a hang time now, and here we go. Yeah! It pushes you over those hills, I love it. Woo! Oh! Whee! Whoa! Whee!
Wait a minute, I go!
What a beautiful ending to the ride as well. Oh, love it. I actually enjoyed that front row ride more than the back row ride just, which was interesting. It was great to get back on Mako there. In about 20 minutes we've had 2 rides, a back row and a front row, and it's still a fantastic coaster. My favourite roller coaster in Orlando. I just feel like it differs a lot between the front and the back in terms of the different experiences, and you're going to prefer it if you like being pulled over the drop, of course, on the back. On the front you get pushed into the maritime hills more. It really is an enjoyable ride no matter where you go with that one. And yeah, I just very much enjoyed it. You know my thoughts on it, but Alex, what did you think to your first couple of rides on Mako?
I agree with you, it's the best coaster in Orlando. Airtime was great. I enjoyed the front and the back row equally, to be honest. A really good fun coaster. Great views, really smooth. The trim lets it down a little, but
you do feel the trim noticeably, especially at the back of the train.
Me personally, I'd still take Shambhala over Mako, but it's very close. Like there isn't much in it at all for what it's worth.
The old Shamu's Happy Harbour, which is just behind the fence over there, is actually being turned into a new area for next year, which is going to be all based around Sesame Street. The concept art for that looks really good, and I certainly look forward to seeing that one. Can't really see that much from here, other than the construction wall and some of the buildings going in behind me, a bit of the support structure. It's not got to the stage for interior or theming yet, literally just the steel structure going up at the moment. But when we go a little bit further around the park, we might be able to get a little bit of a better angle there on the construction taking place on Sesame Street, opening next year. I tell you what, hey, Theme Park Worldwide on YouTube, check it out. I tell you what, we've had lovely weather all trip, but overnight, like, it suddenly got a bit chilly, and like, yeah, all these ice caps have just appeared.
I don't know why he's wearing those clothes. I'm in bacon.
He's living, yeah, I'm like, God, I need to get my hoodie on out here. It's freezing.
What?
Can't you feel it? Look at all the ice, all on the rocks. Antarctica, Empire the Penguin, dark ride just here, which we're going to go and do. It's a really nice themed area, this one. The ride itself, I do enjoy certain aspects of it. Could have been a lot better, I feel, but it's certainly not a bad ride at all. It's a very nicely themed area with all the rocks all the way around. And again, much like the rest of SeaWorld, really nice soundtrack, really good score to this ride.
In this frozen ridge of rock and snow, a Gentoo colony huddles together for warmth, community, and family. A few stay behind with this anxious young couple. It's late in the breeding season, and their egg is the last to hatch. But the storm is looming closer and closer. Time is running out for one little penguin named Puck.
Yes, some good air conditioning in this queue line. At this point here, you have to decide where you want to go, if you want a wild expedition or a mild expedition. And we're going to have a wild or a mild. Do you want wild?
I feel like we're going to be wild, to be honest. I'm not much of a roller coaster. Oh, brilliant! What a version!
Great. I I like the pre-show, and you even get a second pre-show in just a second as well, which is quite nice.
Oh, that is nice.
Safe from the storm, Puff is older now, ready to explore all on his own.
Yeah, he's just quick.
In this amazing land of ice and snow, he finds a clever new way to view the world. It's time to see the wonders of Antarctica through the eyes of Puck. So come on!
I absolutely love the soundtrack to this ride. Here we are, all seated ready to go on our ride with the penguins. Let's go.
Puck slides and glides into a cavern of icy, dancing light. And for the first time, he's ready to dive into the sea. He's eager to hunt for food on his own, but danger lurks in the water below.
There's been a slight technical problem with that on the ride vehicle. Antarctica, Empire of the Penguin there, the trackless dart ride. What do you think of that, Ali?
I think that's a nice soundtrack, you know, quite a cute ride, but I don't know, it's just a bit underwhelming really.
It lacks. The first section is great. Like, you come out of the station, you look like the big mountain, all the ice around, all the lights flashing, really nice. But after that, yeah, it is a bit lackluster, doesn't it, with the screens. Don't get me wrong, when I first rode it, I ranked it a bit higher than I do now, because since then, I've done some of the best trackless dart rides in the world, such as Mystic Manor over in Hong Kong, the Winnie the Pooh trackless dart ride at Tokyo, Disney, Symbolica at Efteling. I've done all them rides since last riding this, really, so yeah, it's a bit underwhelming, but don't get me wrong, the ride system itself is still quite nice, and that magical feeling, especially for the kids, where at the end, it turns round and you see the penguins. However, the car next to us didn't spin round as you saw there from the on-ride footage. So I bet they were a bit gutted, especially the kids on that one. So all of us got to see the penguins and then they didn't spin round. I think they're having so many issues with this ride system because of the temperature. In here right now, it's absolutely freezing. And I just don't think with it being a trackless system that the sensors can cope with it. I honestly think that's my issue with it.
How does an ice shower sound to you right now, like a shower of ice?
Not very good because I'm freezing.
Look at this penguin over here having the time of its life under the little ice shower. He's not moved the whole time we've been in here.
He is living the dream.
The fish now, they're all going for the fish.
Very well themed in here though.
It's like the comics, I give them credit where credit's due, like they look like this.
And hopefully we're going to get a bit of Kraken Unleashed, the VR. And we'll talk more about it when we get round there. Right then, so we just made our way round to Kraken Unleashed. Now obviously all this area has been changed since I last came here. They updated the sign and they did add VR to this ride. And I was under the impression that the VR was back on it, and it was like about a month or so ago, and then it went off again, then it came back, and now we've just been told by the staff member at the entrance that the VR is gone altogether. It will not be having VR, so that's quite an interesting one. But anyway, we're going to get up the queue line, it's walk on anyway. We're going to have our ride on Kraken. Going to be interesting to see, are SeaWorld going to keep it as the name Kraken Unleashed? Are they going to go back to just Kraken? Who knows what's going to happen, but certainly hasn't worked out very well for them. Just go to show my thoughts on VR are true. It slows down the throughputs. I just don't really like VR attractions, and I don't think there's that many people that really do like VR, to be honest. It's one of those that if a park are going to put it in, it really needs to be done separately and not to a ride what already exists. And I think that was the proof with it with Kraken really. Not Crashing, hope not, Kraken. Anyway, we're going to get the lockers. Worth pointing out with the lockers here at SeaWorld, unlike Universal, you do actually have to pay for the lockers using these machines. Obviously, it means that it's a bit bad really because you've got to fork out on the money for them when really at Universal they are free. You're not allowed any bags or loose items up there on the platforms, but you can get one to swap between the lockers. I think we paid $6 for that, or it was $2 for 2 hours at each location. But it's worth pointing out if you've never been here before, maybe you're coming for the first time soon, that yeah, you can't just walk into the queue lines at SeaWorld and Busch Gardens or Universal. Disney's fine, but yeah, with the other parks you do need lockers, and at SeaWorld parks you do have to pay for them. Anyway, let's go for our ride on Kraken Unleashed. Right then, here we are, front row on Kraken. I'm not even going to really call it Kraken Unleashed because there's no VR. It will be interesting to see what they do though. Are they going to revert it back to how it was? I certainly hope so. I'm not a big fan of the colour scheme in the queue line or the station area. With these floorless coasters, you really want to be on the front row. Obviously, when you're a bit further back on the other rows, yes, you can tell it's flawless, but it really makes the difference on the front row. And what I love with this ride as well is the views. Of course, you've got the lake down below and Mako, the towers just above it. Mako still looks like it's running on one train, sadly, but this is on two. Me and Brett were just saying actually, it'd make a lot more sense for this to be on one train and Mako to be on the two, but you get a great view from up here, all across the Orlando area. And let's go. Hopefully it's a bit smoother than it was last time I went on. Oh! Oh, yes. Yeah, it's certainly smoother than last time I went on. Certainly a lot smoother. Oh.
Little head back on this last corner.
Hey. Oh. There we are, Kraken. Yeah, that was certainly a lot smoother, that was. You can tell them maybe changed some of the wheels on that one, or yeah, it was running a lot better actually. Certainly not like the smoothest B&M out there, but it's a lot better than it was. It was getting a bit unbearable last time. I remember saying that in the video.
Please remove your headset. Unfasten your seatbelt.
Oh yeah, I took my headset off. Brett was also saying that this area just here was added because the VR was overheating. Obviously they built all this, they must have spent so much money and it was all a waste. Such a shame. But still a really good roller coaster. Hopefully they'll change all this colour scheme back, especially the purple over there. It really doesn't suit the ride in my opinion. Well, there we go, that's Kraken. So we were just saying that, obviously me and Brett went on our train and we had quite a smooth ride. It was alright, that was. And anyway, all these guys went on the other train and yeah, like you were saying it was
rough, yeah.
Rough.
Yeah, really
I actually will go as far as to say it's the roughest B&M coaster I have ridden to date.
Rougher than Dragon Con?
Oh, I would take Dragon Con over that.
I would take Dragon Con over that.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Didn't like
Sorry
it
to
really.
SeaWorld fanboys and girls out there, but yeah, Dragon Con all the way for me.
The only thing that I didn't really like about it was just the new colour scheme in the queue line. Like I just
And the
wish
fact
you'd
you get
go
told
back
to
to
take your
it.
headset off on the brake run.
Oh no, that was quite
We were
funny.
like,
On a serious note though, like yeah, it's certainly, you wouldn't have liked it before, would they? Like it was really bad up until like
it didn't
recently.
feel any different from any kind of Vekoma ride, I guess, really.
my
I'm sorry
God.
to say it, but I think it was really,
It's a B&M.
I think it was actually really quite shaky and battly and rough.
more like an arrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
nothing
favourite.
wrong, nothing wrong with arrow classics. You know I love my arrows. I know I love it.
Rough though.
Don't let the coaster ride you, ride the coaster. That's my advice with these ones. Anyway, one of my favourites just here, Journey to Atlantis. And this ride has had a few upgrades since I was last here. I say upgrades, I'm going to say changes before I've been on because I'm not too sure if I would class them as upgrades or not. So we'll find out in just a moment. It's either very quiet or it's broken down.
Broken down, temporarily unavailable.
Oh, there we go then, we'll have to come back later for that one. But yeah, Journey to Atlantis, it's had a good paint up though. The entrance looks a lot better actually. I must say the front here looks like it's had a bit of work done to it. But yeah, we'll maybe go and get some lunch, getting really hungry now. Get a bit of food before we do the rest of the rides here at SeaWorld Orlando.
Sean, I'm really hungry now.
Are you hungry? Alex needs feeding, I need feeding. Probably get some food then, I reckon. Here we are then, it's time for our ride on Journey. I'm looking forward to this one. The boats look a lot fresher actually, they've been painted up since I was last here. I do love the station, the queue line's not amazing. There's a few little details, but the station is really nice actually. Yes, let's go. Welcome to Journey to Atlantis.
Oh, welcome friends to your VIP tour of Atlantis. Recently discovered ruins at the bottom of the sea await, so hold on tight.
I do like some of this new music. Shame some of the effects are no longer used.
That rain cloud is more promising up there.
I'm gonna say, yeah. Oh, I like this catchy music.
Over there.
Hashtag best job ever coming up on the right hand side.
For a sudden slowdown at the bottom of the hill.
I'll wait for. Hello.
Here we go. Oh, that was good. That was a good soak in there on the main big drop. But of course with this ride, it's not all over yet. This music, it's like a proper, it's a disco ride now, isn't it? Have a little party on here, get your glow sticks out on a night. I like this. Oh!
Wow, that was unexpected.
It's good to see effects working though. Get ready for the biggest drop on the ride now. Oh God, it's a bit of a soaker this one though if you're on the front. Here we go. Oh!
My phone!
Oh my God!
Okay.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was. I felt like that was worse than what I remember. That was a Valhalla soaker. Oh my God! I feel like that was wetter than ever.
It's now in my boxes.
Oh no! Good job. It's a nice hot day. For now.
I like the music though. It's really good.
I like the music. Yeah.
I'm expecting a nightclub up here.
It's very catchy. Here we go. Oh, I love this soundtrack.
Here we go.
Oh my God, I always knew it was the soaker, but I think that's the wettest ride I've ever had on Journey to Atlantis. That was crazy.
Have we made it? We made it to Atlantis.
There we go, we made it.
Well, it's a lot hotter here than I thought it'd be.
Oh. Front row footage there from Journey to Atlantis here at SeaWorld, and wow, I was really impressed actually with the changes on that one. Very much enjoyed getting absolutely soaked. As you saw there from the GoPro footage, it's not the massive drop what does it, and it's not the drop at the end, it's the smallest drop what is the most deadly. I mean, look at my shorts, absolutely soaked. But that's what makes it, especially when it's this humid. In terms of the changes on the ride, the soundtrack, which is also playing out the front just here, I absolutely love. For me, when a ride has an addictive soundtrack, I rank it a lot higher. I was a little bit nervous to seeing what they'd done to it. I didn't know if I was going to come off and enjoy it anywhere near as much, but I actually preferred it. Now I know there's a couple of effects that have been removed from the ride and have been turned off, but overall the soundtrack inside and the lighting is so much better than it was before. I really feel like the set pieces really stand out a lot more. And for me with this ride, it's the mystery surrounding it as well. The fact that we stand here now and you think that the highlight of the ride is the massive drop, but really there's so much more to it in the rest of the show building. And of course, the secret drop round at the back that you can't see at all. I really enjoyed that. It's my second favourite ride here at SeaWorld. Very close actually, just behind Mako. I think that's a stunning ride. And on a trip to Orlando, maybe you've never been here before, definitely come to SeaWorld to check that one out. It's a good combination of water ride and dark ride together. And yeah, I thought that was really good, solid ride. That much so, I came off and I really just wanted to just keep going round and round on it. For me, the soundtrack, it's a bit like Valhalla back at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Really good soundtrack, very addictive, and it certainly adds to the overall experience of the ride. 10 out of 10 from Sean, brilliant attraction, one of my favourites in Orlando. Up next then, we're going on the park's B&M flying coaster that opened in 2009. It is of course Manta. It is only running one station and one train today. It has got a dual station, there's one on that side. But obviously with these, I'm not too fussed with that, mainly because we've only waited 5 minutes anyway. And also with this one, I don't like waiting too long on the brake run. Stacking on the brake run on these flying coasters does annoy me. But yeah, if you look down the bottom here as well, obviously Galactica, or Air as it used to be known at Alton Towers, has got the lowering floor. With this, it's got the scoops and the floor just there, meaning that there's nothing to lower. Have a nice ride, people. So yeah, normally I wouldn't be very happy with one train operations, but because we're going to be straight back into the station and no waiting, I don't mind too much. Let's get on the ride. I do love the soundtrack on Manta, and we're actually on the front row. The view from this lift hill really is very special, especially with the music playing, really adds to it. I love how SeaWorld parks goes to that extra step to include audio on the lift hill. Makes it much more of an experience. And here we go. Look forward to the pretzel loop in a moment on the front row. Let's do it, Manta. Intense. Yeah. So smooth, isn't it? Probably the most photographed part of the coaster now. Little fake splashdown. Whoa. Really enjoyed that front row ride. Probably one of the better rides I've had on Manta actually. Really good. And obviously the beauty is now that we're going to go straight into the station. As much as I don't like things on one train, we did only wait 5 minutes. And also, it just stops having to wait here for too long. Especially when the humidity is like this. You don't want to be stacking for ages. And that's our ride on Manta. I wonder which station we're going into. Not too hard to guess today. That pretzel loop really is something else on there, isn't it? It's ridiculously intense, but the reason that I rank this higher than Tatsu at Six Flags Magic Mountain in California is because I find the pretzel loop on Tatsu to be a little bit too intense. That for me is just an enjoyable level, and we actually ended up with a front row ride, me and Brett, and I think you guys were all on the back, weren't you, on that one, but first time?
Fantastic.
You like that?
Coast I've done.
Yeah.
And
how many flyers have you done?
so 2.
Oh, it's only your second one. Yeah, there's not loads out there.
I just
really.
didn't want to directly say that I don't like Galactica. I just wanted to say I really like that.
So. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Like that pretzel
really
loop. Yeah, like no matter where
intense.
it's at, it's intense.
It's probably my second favourite coaster in the park thus far, you know. But
yeah,
I really like it. Very impressed.
And Journey to Atlantis, you enjoyed that as well?
Fun. That was probably my number 3.
Yeah, there's some really good rides at this park. Like, I think it's a really good park.
You're going to stand in the shade. I'm burning.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's so hot, isn't it? John and Amber, of course. You like that one?
Fantastic. It's actually made me enjoy flying coasters.
Wow.
I feel a bit ill now.
But again,
the pretzel loop's crazy though, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, we've only been on 2 flying coasters as well. Galactica being the other one, and that's.
You can't really compare them. They're in another league.
Completely different leagues.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic coaster.
Yeah. Gorgeous soundtrack as well going up the lift hill when you're looking out over Orlando, and of course I really like the colour scheme of this as well with the light blue supports and the dark blue track. Great coaster, and yeah, having a great day so far. SeaWorld's a park that's not packed with rides, but that is going to change over the next few years. I really feel like they are moving away from the animal experiences and more for the rides, and I look forward to seeing how this park develops in the future. Going to do a few more re-rides and of course continue to have a little look around the rest of the park. Let's go. So unfortunately it has come to the end of our day here at SeaWorld. Was really hoping to get some more re-rides in there, just how unfortunately the weather started to come in, the bad weather, and it ended up in a bit of a lightning storm within the 15-mile radius, which means they've shut down the roller coasters. There is about 10 minutes to go until park close, but we waited about 20 minutes by Mako, hoping to get some more rides, but unfortunately we thought, oh, you know what, it's not going to open, is it? So we've come for a walk down to the exit and conclude our day. In terms of operations here today, they've not been amazing, partially due to the weather and also a few issues in terms of reliability as well in the park. Doesn't mean that I haven't enjoyed it. We've had a good day today. We've had a really good laugh actually. It's been really good to spend time, of course, with Alex, and also meeting Brett and John and Amber, which has been really good fun. But in general, yeah, the operations haven't been great. We've seen ride breakdowns at Mako, Kraken, Manta and Journey to Atlantis as well. But let me just do a bit of a summary really. Journey to Atlantis, love what they've done with that. I think it's fantastic. The new music, the indoor sections, really pleased with that and it looks great. Mako, still my favourite coaster in Florida. Really like that ride. It's a good solid hyper coaster and I feel like it's got so much for a ride that is only 200 foot tall. Manta had a great front row ride on that earlier on. That was really intense and one of the best rides I've ever had on it. And yeah, Kraken, shame about the VR. I was hoping for that today. But yeah, I really hope that they repaint the queue line and get it back on theme in terms of all the colours around it. Obviously, it was Alex's first time doing the roller coasters today. I've been to the park. I think you've enjoyed it, haven't you, really?
I really enjoyed Mako Manta. The penguin ride, the...
yeah, Antarctica, Empire of the Penguins.
That was different because I don't recall that ride. I remember last time I was here, which was many years ago, going along a travelator, and it was just like a half-mile long travelator straight past a big window full of the penguins, which was incredible, but it was nice to see they've done something different with it. The park, I don't know why, it just feels like there's less here than what I remember, even though, you know, technically there are more rides here now. I don't know why that is. I just, you know, I feel like I remember seeing a lot more than there was. Maybe I just had time to do more. But it's been a really good day to get, you know, on 3 new B&M coasters and to absolutely love 2 of them.
Thanks for watching our vlog here from SeaWorld. That means it's time to cue those credits. See you later from SeaWorld Orlando.